Anelka, enfant terribles, rejuvenated by the English air. Now from Bordeaux to Brum comes Christophe Dugarry.
He's a creative player. That's what we want up front, somewhere he can just turn a game by, you know, a bit of individual skill.
Gagner pour nous ce soir.
Is it Bordeaux where he's come from? He's had a bit of trouble there, but I'm hoping that he leaves that behind him and does what we know he can do.
Bonjour. Bonjour, ça va bien, merci. Come on, the Blues.
Robert Pires was among the mates who recommended the Premier League to Dugas. Formalities over, he was all set for le départ. But after a busy week's shopping, it appeared Birmingham had no change left for the meter. The floodlights failed. Blues' faces turned red. Half an hour, some loose change, and a bulb or two later, Birmingham's World Cup winner made a tidy first impression. Only for Arsenal to switch on while the other new boys, Colley, Clapham and Clement, struggled. Dugarry's class was clear. Strong on both sides. Cute runs and touches. Aerial strength, but no goals. His old international colleagues held those rights. On the half hour, Pires volleyed home. The class divide opened to a chasm. And Dugas, who's fallen out with teammates before, threw his first mini tantrum. No one was arguing. Zinedine Zidane's best problem. 3 months to earn himself a longer deal by keeping Birmingham up. By then, on this form, Arsenal will be champions again. Patrick Vieira wasn't missed at all. That's how good the Gunners were. Lauren's looping header was swiftly followed by a special anniversary for the Frenchman, transformed into one of the world's best strikers since he made his channel hop. Pires and Wiltord were on his wavelength to help Thierry Henry score his 100th Arsenal goal. Steve Bruce faced up to a heaviest defeat of the season. The va-va-voom show continued. The turbo mixed with exceptional touch, almost climaxing in a wonderful hat-trick for King Henry. Christophe's debut still ended in a generous send-off. The good news, the opposition can only get easier.
Against good teams like Arsenal, you can't be 1 down and 2 down after 20 minutes chasing games at this level. But to be fair, sometimes you just have to say, well, you know, there was not much we could do today.
I would say we played well, scored great goals, and they put every effort in they could, and they made it difficult for us. But once we were in front, it was difficult to catch us.
The big bonus for us was obviously Dugarry. I thought he was magnificent. I mean, his overall leading of the game was leading of the line was fantastic. In the air, he gave them a problem all day, and he'd be a big plus for us over the next few weeks, that's for sure.
Some people have been critical of you. How do you feel about that?
I have 31 years. I do 2 World Cup, 2 Championship. I win 1 Championnat d'Europe, c'est quoi?
European Championship.
European Championship. I play 2, I won 1. I win 1, I win 1 World Cup. For me, it's not a problem. Who wants to critique me, no problem.
Well, before we try and find more superlatives for Arsenal, let's just consider the new signing at Birmingham City, Christophe Dugarry. Clive, you knew him from your days at Bordeaux, played with him, indeed. Can he make as much of a difference as obviously Steve Bruce hopes and expects?
I think he can. I think there's got to be an appreciation of what skills he will bring to the team and to the football club. I think he's a great technician, there's no doubt about that. I think sometimes he played in, obviously, the French national squad when he's almost been given a free role, and that's where he's at his best. I think if you tie him down to a position, you're not going to see Dugarry at his best. And I think, you know, he's playing against the best team in the Premiership at the moment. On this evidence, I think there's glimpses that he could certainly make a difference to Birmingham, and that's why Steve has introduced him and brought him into the club. He's not a goal scorer though, Matt. I think that's the thing that the Birmingham supporters shouldn't expect vast numbers of goals.
No.
Yeah, because that's not. He's never done
Provider
that
as much as possibly taker.
That's right.
Okay. I guess the comparisons, given where he comes from and the fact that he'll know plenty of the Arsenal players pretty well from French setups, Robbie, would be not necessarily with any one individual, but you think of the effect someone like Pires has had at Arsenal, and you wonder whether Dugarry, it's asking a lot.
It's a pretty tall order. If he does half as well as Robert Pires, for me, he'll have had a good career, because this fellow is not only a great technician, as we see, makes and score goals, but as well as all that, for me, his appetite for the game and his tracking back and his work for the team is fantastic. You often don't see that with great players. They often play, you know, when the ball's there. But I like, he plays in the wide positions, he helps his full-backs out. He's got great appreciation of where his other teammates are. And I say, he's a real team player. I mean, this goal, what's down? I mean, nearly takes his cartilage out swinging for that. And then he's off, his vision's there again, making opportunities for teammates. And as I say, I just feel that he's a real team player. It almost epitomises why Arsenal are where they are.
Yeah, and in that sense, I guess Dugarry will have to fit into the way Birmingham play if he's going to
become a team player for Birmingham in the same sense.
OK. As for man of the match, once again, Thierry Henry. Well, what more could you say? 100 goals for Arsenal now. And to think he used to be a winger. Quite a compilation or show reel from Monsieur Henry. I guess the first thing you think, Ali, is what would he be like to play with? And Jim, what would he be like to play against, apart from a nightmare?
I'll tell you what, I think I'd rather play with him than against him, that's for sure.
Well, I was thinking that because the first time I saw him was for Monaco, playing as a winger at St James's Park. He got the winner in the UEFA Cup tie, and I remember thinking that night, wouldn't like to come up against that. I mean, you just can't live with that kind of acceleration and pace. But to go at it, there's also a wonderful technique, wonderful balance. And especially with the Wiltords and the Perez's around him, there's almost there now. He's up moving before the ball is even played to him, and it's so hard.
See, the thing about him is, how do you play against him? Because if you get tight, which is probably a good thing, you would think,
he'll burn you off and turn.
If he plays you one over the top and he turns you have no chance. But if you give him 2 or 3 yards and he can turn and run at you, that's probably worse. So I don't know what you do against him. Do you play a sweeper or what do you do?
Kick him.
That's it.
Well, yeah, break his leg, I suppose. Which is what people, I guess, are trying to do.
You've got to catch him to kick him.
But when you think he didn't have a great deal of self-belief as a striker when Wenger first put the idea to him, and then you see how quick he's reached his 100 goals for Arsenal, and he's not even top of the list. It's an impressive club he joined.
Well, his 100th goal was tremendous, but his 99th, his pace was unbelievable. And it's a great, I mean, look at the clientele in that club. It's fantastic.
181 games to score the 100 for Arsenal. Only Shearer and Fowler.
You have to look at Shearer
and
say that's unbelievable.
Years.
Unbelievable. But that's a great record, it really is. And for somebody that never started out as a centre forward, his record's incredible.
It is absolutely amazing. And as Wenger says, more to come. That's the scary thing, Rob.
Well,
like what?
Well, he feels that this guy is going to be the very top draw, and it's his football intelligence as well. I think when Ali says about how do you play against him, he's the sort that he tests you either way. If you go tight, then he'll have one over, he'll play one over the top, and if you don't, he'll turn. And when you've got pace and intelligence, I think that's the perfect marriage.
And also, as you said with Perez, Henry is a team player. Eh? He's not the selfish striker that perhaps some strikers need to be.
Well, you look at that team, and some of the goals that Arsenal have scored this season have been quite incredible. It's as if they've actually passed the ball into the net, whereas 90 times out of 100 strikers would have a shot at the goal. For example, Perez and Wiltord will pass the ball. If they see somebody, they're in the box with shooting position, and they see somebody for a tap-in, it's having the vision.
Apparently the one weakness, he doesn't score too many headers though, so maybe that's the thing.
Headers and tap-ins.
Headers in simple goals.
He's very weak in headers and tap-ins.
I'm just wondering who in here would claim a quick 100 goals for club.
Jim, I think Jim's probably, Jim's probably the best angle here.
How many did it take, by the way?
I didn't want to mention any names, just follow my eyes, you know. What do you think, Ali? Do you think you live in that sort of company?
I don't think I'd live with that, to be honest with you.
Don't you?
I don't.
Have we got the stat on Mr. McCoist? 174.
174.
Slightly quicker than Thierry Henry.
No, I was never quicker than Thierry Henry. I'm denying that, I'll tell you.
At least every time I scored, we won. Not many can say that.
And just to tie up the story of the situation with Arsenal and Birmingham, it seems likely that Matthew Upson may be on his way from Arsenal to Birmingham. A fee between the two clubs has been agreed, 1 million rising to 3. Not sure about personal terms. That we will go on to find out.